Okay, cool. Hey, is there anything you want to talk about for a vlog? Okay, I have something I want to talk about. Ask you. So, you know how okay, I can edit out anything that you don't want me to include, but okay, so I'm Japanese, but English is my first language, and I talked about it a little bit in one of my videos, how I'm not really Japanese and how I'm sort of different, you know. I'm a sort of a third culture kid, or grew up as a third culture kid. Basically, I'm Japanese, but I wasn't raised in a Japanese culture. Yeah. And so therefore, the way I see things, and you know, culturally, I'm a little bit different. Yeah. So how about you? Like how like you're Brazilian, right?
Yes.
Again, I can edit this out. Whoa, let's stop here. Whoa.
Yeah.
I can edit that out if you don't want me to mention your nationality.
No, that's okay. I think he already mentioned some videos.
Okay, well, yeah, so you're Brazilian, but you grew, when you came to Japan fairly early in your life, right? So, like...
yeah, like when I was 15.
Okay.
I mean, it's half there, you know?
Right. But how would you say that, do you feel more Japanese than Brazilian now?
Yeah, that's a hard thing to figure, because at the moment I would say that I feel I am more Japanese than Brazilian.
Right.
Because yeah, I got way too used to a lot of Japanese, not culture, but a few rules, you know.
Yeah. Right.
For me, it feels like normal, you know.
Exactly, because you've been here for so long, and
yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, it's hard to, because sometimes when I'm with some Japanese, not friends, but co-workers.
Yeah.
There are some times that I feel like a foreigner.
Right, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So, like, I think...
I think most of the times I would say, yeah.
Exactly. So I think that's the challenge that people, third culture kids or third culture individuals, they face, is that, like, in Japan, of course, you know, they will see you as a foreigner, right? Because you speak a little differently, or you think differently, you have, you act differently. And then if you went back to Brazil, though, would you fit right in? Would you feel at home and like, hey, I'm Brazilian, I'm home, and all that sort of stuff? Or would you also, like in Brazil, feel a little bit like awkward?
That's the funny thing, because as long as I remember, when we were in Brazil, like when I was young,
yeah,
I mostly would be labeled as Japanese.
Right. Okay.
Because of the appearance, you know.
Right.
I mean, like I was born and raised there, but still, people would just look at me and say, "Oh, you're Japanese."
Exactly.
I feel like, yeah, because I mean, when you're there, you're not 100% Brazilian, and when when I come here, I am not seen as a 100% Japanese. Also,
right.
I I'm not, but you know, considering, you know.
So basically, you know, you're a foreigner in Japan and you're a foreigner in Brazil, and
yeah, it would feel like, yeah.
And that's I sort of feel that way too. Of course, I can get away with more because I look more Japanese here in Japan.
Yeah.
So I can fake it a bit. I can fake it maybe a bit more because I am full Japanese, but the way I think and the way I speak and sometimes the way I act too, they'll catch on and they'll say, hey, this guy is not really Japanese, this guy's a little different, isn't he? And so, you know, I can't fake it for that long. I can get away with it for a little while. And then if I went to the States or any other English-speaking country where culturally, or at least, you know, language-wise, I'd feel very at home just because English is my first language, I would definitely be looked on as a foreigner because I look full-on Japanese, and so I definitely would be a foreigner.
I think that for maybe, but I think for us, like me and you, let's say for example, if we were in the US, I don't think that they would label us Japanese foreigners. They maybe would think that we could be Chinese.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's possible. Like a lot of people, I think because in general maybe Koreans or Chinese speak fluent English more than Japanese do. I don't know. That's.
I think there's way more Chinese and Korean than Japanese.
I see. Okay. Yeah, there's that maybe. So anyways, that's just something that I've been thinking about recently. It's, you know, the way I was raised, it's different. And also, obviously for you, you made a big move, and so for people like you, I think it's a bit more obviously different, like how people perceive you, how people see you. You're sort of culturally homeless. Not homeless, you know, but like you're a foreigner here, you're a foreigner there, in a way. And then for me, I actually am Japanese and I look Japanese, but culturally I'm not fully Japanese. Like I've got some other cultures kind of mixed in there just because you know, I've traveled a bit, and the way I grew up, and I grew up speaking English over Japanese. So I think one of the challenges that third culture individuals or kids face, one of the difficult things is that we're not so patriotic. Like, I'm not super Japan is the best, Japan is my country, it is the ultimate, because I see other cultures and I speak English and I feel like I understand some of the other cultures around, and I'm not like I am full-on Japanese. This is, you know, this is because there are some things about Japanese culture that I still like, why do they do that, you know, why can't they be a bit more like that culture, or, you know, just a bit more this way or that. And so that's one of the challenges, I think. Do you feel that way as well, like about, for example, Brazil? Do you feel like, or Japan, I don't know, like which one do you, if you were, let's say Japan versus Brazil, they were playing soccer, right? Which team would you root for? Right? Which would you want?
That's a hard thing because, oh man, now you got it, because I have no idea, you know.
Right? Like, so.
A few times I would cheer for the Japan, and a few more times I would cheer for the Brazil. No, but that's hard.
right? So that's what I'm talking about. I mean, you know, that's a very simple analogy. It's a simple illustration of the, you know, of the challenge. But like, let's say when it gets to, you know, things like politics or, you know, more complex things, I think I have mixed loyalties, or like I don't really feel super loyal to Japan. I don't feel loyal to other countries either, but I feel I understand where Japan is coming from in a way, more than some other people. And then I also feel like I have a good understanding of, you know, how people might think in other cultures and other countries more than other Japanese people do. So I have like kind of like a, I don't know, it's kind of a mixed, you could say, you know, maybe we're people like us, we're sort of like, you know, citizens of the world, but we're not like, you know, proper citizens of Japan or, you know, any one country. It's kind of an interesting, I don't know, it's kind of an interesting place to be in, or position to be in. And there are a lot of other people like us who have experienced this, or are experiencing it to some degree or another. Yeah,
you know, I think that, I mean, you have lived in other countries, so you have a more open mind, but maybe, let's say, our sons, they might speak English, they might act like a foreigner, but sometimes they get a little bit, how to say, Japanese, you know?
Sorry, what do you... What?
I mean, like on the background, they still will have that Japanese ground, you know, mentality.
Yeah.
Mentality, but it's like I feel like they tend to lean more to the Japanese way of thinking rather than a foreign way of thinking, you know?
Oh, some of our friends. Is that what you mean?
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, the kids.
Oh, my kids.
Let's say for example,
My kids.
kids.
Yeah.
I would try to raise him on a foreign way.
Right.
But as long as he doesn't get out of Japan, he still will have a little of a Japanese mentality, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Like, so that's another question I had that I've been asking myself is like, I was raised as a third culture kid, but then like at home I speak English with my kids.
Yeah.
And at school they learn Japanese, which is great. So hopefully, you know, we'll raise. Oh, look at these colors. These are really nice here, huh? Red.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, and the smell cow farm. I smell cow. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, he really smells like a cow.
But it's all good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I wondered, like, am I raising my kids to also be third culture? Because I teach them English at home before they go to school and learn Japanese. They learn to read and write English at home before their 1年生, before their first grade. So I think I'm giving them a third culture upbringing as well, because their home country, if you will, is Japan, but then I'm sort of giving them an outside culture upbringing by introducing them to these other things and having them speak English first. And what else? And we also hang out with a lot of other friends who...
The two times that I spent with your kids.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like your kids they are way more into the foreign side than the Japanese side.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I agree. So, but like at school, they'll speak in Japanese and hang out with their friends just fine. But I think, yeah, if you had to put a scale on it, I would say they are, you know, more on the foreign or English speaking side than they are in the, you know, normal Japanese side. Yeah. Anyway, so that's interesting. I'm a third culture kid, third culture individual, and I'm raising third culture kids, but here in Japan. But my wife and I are both Japanese, and we both speak English first. And so, and my kids, they've, you know, only one of them has been to the States, but they're all speaking English first as well. And they're much more, I would say, I don't know, they're interesting, an interesting breed. So I like to think that maybe, well, I hope, this is the hope, is that I can impart to them the best of both, or, you know, both cultures, you know, Western and Japanese.